Had a threesome with my closest friends and enjoyed it. Now they want me to be their girlfriend. Plus, all updates. So, I, 26 female, have 2 friends, Lexi, 25 female, and Dan, 27 male, fake names, who are a couple. I've been friends with them both for about 6 years. They were already dating when I met them. One day, Lexi and Dan threw a party and we ran out of liquor fast. Me and Dan decided to go get more liquor. On our way to the store, Dan, who was obviously drunk, told me how attractive I've been looking lately, and how he and Lexi wanted to ask me for a threesome but were too scared to. I shut him down obviously because the situation me and him alone like this was super Seuss. Later that night, I told Lexi about what he said to me, and she confirmed it, and said that she was the one that brought it up to him, because they've always been into threesomes, and it wouldn't be their first together. I was speechless as she continued to tell me about how she's always been attracted to me. She's bi BTW, and never asked me to join them before because she didn't want to scare me off or ruin our friendship. I was completely against it at first because, for one, I considered myself to be straight. I've never been with a woman before, and the thought of it made me disgusted yet curious. She told me that I didn't have to if I didn't want to, but my curiously ended up getting the best of me. I agreed, and she kept asking if I was sure. Mind you, Dan wasn't in the room while me and her talked about this. So after everyone had left the party, the 3 of us were sitting on the couch, and Lexi initiated contact first. She could tell I was shy, and she asked me if she could kiss me. I told her yes. Now the kiss was awkward at first because I've never kissed a woman before, but I got into it fast and I liked it. She started to undress me, and eventually Dan joined us, and I was honestly shocked at how big Dan was. We tried every threesome position they knew. They were gentle with me and kept telling me I can stop whenever I wanted. I told them I didn't want to stop. And let me tell you, it was the best sex I have ever had. They were both amazing. When we finished, I slept on the spare bedroom and they slept together in their bed. When I woke up the next day, I felt so guilty and embarrassed about it. The liquor wore off and so many thoughts were running through my head. Did Lexi mean what she said? Will she be jealous that I enjoyed having sex with Dan? Will Dan not look at me as one of his best friends anymore? Why did I enjoy Lexi's hands and mouth on my body so much? Did they even enjoy it as much as I did? And does this mean I'm bisexual now? Just so many thoughts at once. I eventually shook these thoughts away and grew the courage to leave the room. They were already up waiting for me in the kitchen. They greeted me like last night didn't happen. We ate breakfast and had our usual banter. Lexi asked me how did I feel about last night. I stuttered and told her it was all right, and I continued to gobble down my frosted flakes. She proceeded to say jokingly, "You know you liked Dan fucking you. I saw the faces you made. His dick is big, isn't it?" Cue the jealousy thoughts coming back. I just knew I fucked up. I guess she noticed how uneasy I felt, and she assured me, "OP, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. Me and Dan enjoyed it too. We can't pretend like it didn't happen. Come on, let's talk about it. How did we feel and what was our favorite part? I'll go first. My favorite part was eating you out while Dan behind me, and I feel like for your first time with a woman, you're a natural." Then Dan said his favorite part was going back and forth, hitting us both from the back while me and her kissed. When it was my turn, I said, "My favorite part was when you both were eating me out together, and I love how you guys made me feel comfortable. And after we agreed not to let this affect our friendship." I became their threesome go-to person, and we began having them regularly for the next 9 months, until the day they pulled a full 180 and popped the question. They invited me over and sat me down. They each took turns expressing how they grew feelings for me, and ultimately agreed to ask me together if I wanted to be their girlfriend. Since we were already comfortable with each other and the threesomes were normal with us, why not make it official? I was taken aback because I thought we all agreed we wouldn't let this affect our friendship. I told them I had to think about it and left. That was 2 days ago. Since then, they've both been texting me saying this is what they were afraid of. They didn't want to scare me away and lose me. I assured them both they didn't lose me. I just needed some time to think. Now that I've been alone, I can't stop thinking about during the 9 months. Anytime we went out clubbing or to a party, I would get really jealous when I saw them dancing with someone else, even though I had no right to feel that way. I guess I have grown separate feelings for them both. I really don't want to lose either of them by telling them no, and I don't know if I'm ready for my first polyamorous relationship. I should add they both had their own unique way of expressing their feelings for me. Dan told me that he's never felt this close to me these past few months. As he is now, and not just because of the sex, but because he wants to keep me and Lexi safe. He doesn't want to see me with anyone else, and he wishes some nights to lay in bed with us both and just cuddle us. Lexi, however, said there are days when she can't stop staring at me and admiring my beauty, and she even imagined what our lives would be like with marriage and both of us being pregnant at the same time. What should I do? Edit. I forgot to mention, even though we've been having these regular threesomes, I haven't come to full terms with my sexuality, and I don't want to jump into a relationship with them knowing I can't give them my all, not just my body. They deserve so much better than that. TLDR, my friends asked me for a threesome, and it became a regular thing for us. It was the best sex I've ever had. We agreed not to let it ruin our friendship until they pulled a 180 and asked me to be their girlfriend and professed their love for me. And I'm not sure what to do about it. Update 2 days later. Here's a little update. I realized you only live once, and I truly don't care what people think about me, so here's my coming out. I am officially bisexual. I'm smiling so hard while typing this out, and I accepted the fact that I was bisexual before I met up with them. Now to the real update. I invited Lexi and Dan over, and they were happy to see me, and God did I miss them too, even if it was only a couple of days since I've seen them. The first half I did most of the talking. I followed some of you guys' advice and told them everything I was feeling, the jealousy, the sexuality confusion. I just laid it all on the table. I told them that I loved them both deeply, as friends, but I do have strong feelings for them both. I feel like the three of us are compatible, sexually and mentally. I asked them some questions, and they had an answer for each one. The conversation is still fresh, so I may miss some points that were made. Question 1. If I join this relationship and we become a throuple, would I be here just for sex, or would it be more emotional? I guess that's best for what I was thinking. For example, decision-making, going on dates, you know where I'm getting at. Because I would hate to be a third wheel if we were to make this serious. Lexi's answer, well, OP to start off the sex is great, but that's not why we asked you be our girlfriend. You make us genuinely happy. You've been our friend for 6 years, so you've seen us at our best and worst times. We can both come to you separately about problems like friends, work, family, and you're always there to listen. You always put others first, even when they don't deserve it. Dan chimes in. She's right. OP, your compassion for others is one of your most attractive traits. And we don't want you to feel like a third wheel, we want you to be with us fully. No jealousy, no special treatments. You've been with us from the beginning, and we honestly never even thought of asking anyone else to be a throuple with us. Question 2. If one of us is out of town or at work and the other two decides they want to have sex, will that be a problem? Will there be jealousy involved, or would we have to wait for all three of us to be together to have sex? Dan. If you two decide to have sex while I'm at work, I wouldn't mind at all. The rest of his answer is kind of fuzzy. Lexi, I wouldn't mind either. Being in a serious relationship does involve sex, so that wouldn't be a problem with us. And if one of us do have a problem with it, me and Dan are good with communication, we'll speak on it, and hopefully you will too. The conversation was very long to type everything out, but we also talked about boundaries. 1. No sleeping with other people outside of the throuple. Make time for each other, go on dates, be adventurous, communication. I did do a lot of Googling on successful throuple before we talked, but I wanted to explain to you guys exactly how I feel about Lexi and Dan. Lexi is sexy, kind, bold, and she doesn't take shit from anyone. If she has a problem with you, you'll know, LOL. Overall, she's just an amazing person. You can never have a dull conversation with her, and I will always respect her asking me if she could kiss me for the very first time during the first threesome. I've never been with a woman, sexually or romantically, before her, and I wouldn't wish it to be with anyone else but her, my best friend turned girlfriend. OMG, this sounds like a movie, LOL. Now for Dan, he is strong, protective, kind, and hot. A big teddy bear. I've never had a male friend I could confide in the way I could confide into him. He's a great listener. And from what I've seen with him and Lexi over the past 6 years is he's very romantic. I feel safe with them, and I hope they feel safe with me too. I decided to do this with them, but we are taking it slow. I will continue to live in my apartment, and we will visit each other frequently. I'm not thinking of marriage just yet. I know Lexi brought it up before, but I don't want to think that far ahead, at least not yet. And we live in the US, and from my understanding, that is illegal here. But we'll figure it out in the long run. But that's it. We're really doing this, and I couldn't be happier. We have our first date planned for next Saturday. We agreed to let Dan do the planning for that. I know it sounds so cliche, but I wouldn't be surprised to be met with rose petals, a romantic dinner, champagne, etc. Like I said before, Dan is a serious romantic. But that's the update. Also, a commenter said I should consider writing, and they wouldn't be the first person to tell me that, but fortunately for me, I love nursing and helping people more. I'm currently in school to be a RN, and for the creeps that keeps DMing me, stop asking for photos of me and Lexi and proof of our threesomes. Some people truly are disgusting. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.